method. Jamie, when you're ready.
Thank you. Good evening to you, Chris. Congratulations.
Evening, Jamie.
I suppose let's start with the moment the game sort of hinged on. Dean Holden there was saying he didn't even think it was a handball at all. What did you think of it?
I've got to say I've not seen it back, Jamie. So I'm in the hands of the referee and VAR. I was just more disappointed that we'd not stuck that opportunity away, because it was one of a number of opportunities that we had first half and second half to take the lead. So disappointed, but decision was made. I was surprised because I didn't even know there was obviously talk of potential handball when we started going deep into VAR and having a look over at monitors and stuff like that. I was surprised when obviously the boy got sent off as well, but there's a reason behind that decision, and obviously that decision was made.
As you said, you did have a number of chances, and I suppose if we're being critical, you could say, oh, maybe you would like to have seen the boys be a bit more clinical, but the fact you created those chances, I mean, it was a good performance on reflection, wasn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, we hadn't had many of them so far this season, so I'll take that compliment, Jamie. I thought we played well. I thought we were in control. Stubborn opposition. We've had some really tight games against Bristol City in the Championship. A couple of times at home they've turned us over. So, that Championship is a really tough division, and there's some quality in there. And I know Dean's got a few injuries at the moment, but they're game and they're stubborn, and they made it difficult for us. But always felt comfortable in possession. We didn't really allow them an opportunity to dictate the game. And still they've got some good players. So, I was happy with the performance. I thought it was a good performance, and I believe we deserved to get through to the quarter final. Obviously, getting through 2 years on the spin is good for us. Now, obviously, the key is to, as we have done in a couple of the cup games that we've played so far, is to make sure that we use that momentum going into an incredibly competitive next few games.
Yeah, just one final question from me. You use the word momentum, and you hear managers all the time talk about how a cup run can actually, be beneficial towards the league form as well. In your case, I wonder whether it's almost the catalyst for the league form, because it was the FA Cup that kicked this great run off over the last month.
We haven't won enough games anyway, so any win we'll try and take. So there's no prioritising now a game of football to win. I think in previous campaigns, whether it's Championship or Premier League, the early rounds that we've changed our team. But when you get deep into the competition, you're putting a team out there that needs to progress, and we've done that. But I think more so the case this year. Yeah, absolutely spot on. It wasn't the most spectacular of wins at Bristol Rovers, but it got us a win, which obviously helped with a little bit of belief into the boys and confidence. And we've used it. We've used the win against Plymouth, and we hopefully will use the win tonight to go and get some results in a very challenging period for us.
Cheers, Chris. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Nate, if that's really you under there, you're next.
Is Sooty got his face mask on to keep himself warm, or is for the COVID situation?
No,
Thank you, Rhian. Dude, there's nobody around you.
Chris, it's 6 wins from 9 now, and regardless of the competition, it's just a welcome run of form right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a negative slant on it, but obviously we haven't won enough games this season so far at the start of the season. But yeah, we're all right. We're enjoying this little period, and we've got to use it to our benefit. And it's decent performance. It's, you know the history of this football club, Nathan. We've done that to so many teams above us in the past, home and away, on cup runs in our history. So there's always that opportunity for an underdog to stick one on you. And we've, apart from maybe the last 10 minutes where I thought we just got a little bit sloppy and maybe a little bit safe with our play, that just allowed the opposition to come onto us a little bit through decision making, most most importantly. But I believe we were comfortable and deserved winners.
It was a change to the championship formation today with Digi in the 10. It's something that you could play today, but it's not something you can play much in the Premier League, is it?
Well, I mean, obviously, when we went up from the Championship to the Premier League, one of the things that we did talk about was, you know, counter attacks and the middle of the park being such a key area at Premier League level. So, and it was successful for us. So, yeah, of course, there'll be people out there crying out for a change of formation in the 10 and 2 9s, and you know, maybe that's a go-to formation for us, and maybe a few games that we can do that. But I think we've got to be careful that we don't get sucked into changing it. From my point of view, the system has, I keep saying, it has worked. What hasn't worked is the players have not played to the best of their ability, because the system works when the players are at the top of the form. So, yeah, a change for us tonight. And I think in the change there was good performances, but it's still an important part of the game. Nathan is the middle of the park, and you know, we have to make sure that, you know, tactically we get it spot on as well.
Just on Rhian Brewster, Chris, do you have a bit of sympathy for him? Because we're yet to see him have a really good chance. You know, he's not being sort of played in on goal every time he plays. He's having to work really hard, as Billy did today as well. So you must have some sympathy for him.
Billy will be the best person to talk to Rhian about it. You know, Bill scored goals all the way through his career, and Rhian's, and I've said it all along, a natural goal scorer, whatever level, whether it's for England, whether it's Liverpool, whether he's on loan at Swansea. You know, and I don't want to, you know, go over old stuff regarding Rhian and his purchase, but you know, Rhian will be a good player for this football club. You know, getting over the line and getting his first goal is obviously key for him. But the longer it goes on, the more difficult it becomes. Yeah, he could do with one of those, you know, ones that drop down to him, but he gets into good positions and he'll be fine. And it's a tough learning curve. And yeah, I do feel a bit for him, because I know how much he wants to do well and how much he wanted to come and join us. You know, and he's not shied away from that. He's not sulked. He's got on with it. He's had to play against some tremendous opposition. If you look through his games, but he'll learn through this experience, and he's going to be a good player for us, I'm sure.
And last one from me. Jayden Bogle looks possibly the signing of the season. One hell of a steal there. Is it his shirt to lose now at right wing back, do you think?
Well, he's going to get put under some tremendous pressure by George, and that's how it's got to be. That's what we're composing the squad for, or try to stick a squad together, so there's natural competition. Always the players that always play that gain you the results that you want. It's the other boys and what they do, and how they keep those players in the team honest. And we have to have that competition. You know, we've got Ender back tonight, which is good news, and Mousset was on the bench, which is good news. But everybody has to keep working hard, and hopefully if we get a few more back, then it gives us that strength in depth that I've always had and always looking for us to achieve as a football club the results that we're after.
Thanks, Chris. Take care. Well done tonight.
Thanks, pal.
Cheers.
I'll take the mask down. There's no one near me.
All right, mate.
All right. Have you sort of asked Billy to maybe have a word with Rhian? Because, as you say, he's the best person to speak to. But it must be good for Rhian to have someone like him to lean on and draw, you know, take advice from.
Yeah, he has. As I said, you know, it's a cutthroat business we're in. It's a business that everybody makes instant sort of assumptions and opinions and delivery on what they're about. And it's a tough period for Rhian. You know, as I said, but it won't hurt him. What's that statement? What, I don't know. Can't kill him, hurt him, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he's a tough cookie. He's a tough boy. You know, he's an East London boy, and so, you know, he'll not be enjoying this, because he, you know, wants to score goals and play well and win. But he'll come through it. As I said, you know, our situation hasn't changed. Rhian was one of the best players in the Championship last year, so that sort of the recruitment hasn't changed, from my point of view. And he's going to be a good player for us. We want him to do well here, and we want him to hit the ground running, but it isn't the case. And he's got to battle through that. But he'll be getting plenty of help from the skipper, David McGoldrick, Ollie Mack. That group. You know what they're about, and what their qualities are as people, not just as footballers. And they'll be trying to help him and drag him through. And I'm sure when Rhian gets that goal, you'll see. Not that it needs pointing out, but you'll see the reaction of everybody, and how delighted they will be. And it'll come, and hopefully it'll come soon.
Not a bad place for where he's from for it to come on Monday, I guess, either.
No. Yeah. I mean, as I said, there was not just was in for him in the summer. There was a few other clubs in for him in the summer. So, he's got a part to play between now and the end of the season, and I'm sure he can play his part.
Are you surprised? I mean, if you are, obviously it'll be pleasantly surprised with how Jayden has sort of adapted. I know it was Championship opposition tonight, but with how he has done in the Premier League, because he was signed to develop, wasn't he? But
yeah, the two boys, we had established boys in there. George signed a new contract, and Endo was outstanding for us last year. But as I've said for quite a while, you need competition, the two young boys, which they are. As I said, without going too deep into it, people talk about recruitment. I think that's quite a good piece of recruitment in terms of getting those two boys in for the amount that we paid for. If I did tell everybody what we did pay for, who knows the game, they'd be quite shocked and stunned. The deals we got for them, but in terms of their play, they've not played the system, at Derby before, or very, very, infrequently. In that season that Jayden broke into Derby's first team under Frank, I think they were playing 4 at the back. So to learn a new system pretty quickly and learn on the job, whether it's Jayden or Max Lowe, it's impressive from their point of view. But Jayden's growing; he's going to have tougher tests, defensively as well. The players that are up against, what he's going to be up against on Monday. If you're looking, I don't know what system they're going to be playing, but Jesse Lingard, Ben Rama, Fonals, Bowen. Usually the really good players are, in the Premier League, the ones at the top of the pitch. So he's got tough tasks ahead of him. But he's playing well, and he's got to keep working and keep developing as Lowe has, and keep improving, and we all get that benefit.
Cheers, Mike.
Thanks, James.
Hi, Chris. Sorry, just a quick one. Shieldsy was talking about Billy Sharp being an example to Rhian, but I guess in another way is the way Jayden Bogle's progressed also a good example to all of us to be just patient with young players.
You have to be. You can't be any other. I thought Lowe was excellent tonight, and he made a mistake just before half time. Naive, playing up against Naki Wells, who's an experienced campaigner, and I think Naki knew that Jayden was Max was going to make that challenge, and he fell for the old 3-card trick. So he's going to get better with experience. But Jayden's, they've been good, and they're a good group. They all get on, and as I said, they're learning in the toughest division in Europe, if not the world. And you make a mistake, it gets punished, and you've got to be on top of your game for every game. So the intensity that the division is played at will no doubt improve all the young players to play better and produce better performances.
And in terms of both wing backs, how difficult has it been to sort of educate them in the position? Because as you say, it's an unusual one when you've had so little time in the training ground this season.
Yeah, little time in the training ground, Stu. Intensity of the games. Usually, you're not getting. You get a little bit more time from a tactical point of view, but this season is a completely different one, and hopefully a one-off because you're just dealing in recovery and set for the next game. So the players will have a recovery day tomorrow, and then you've got 2 or 3 days leading into the game, and we can't overcook them because we need all their energy and them to be fresh and ready to go at West Ham on Monday night. So there's not many Saturday to Saturday games where you can sit them down and talk them through and do stuff on the training ground that make them better player. But that won't hurt them. They're bright boys and they pick it up. And Jaden's obviously picked the position up well, and Max picks the position up well. I mean, his opportunity to score today was Ender Stevens like in that position. To get into that position was a great bit of movement, and it's all, every experience is a good experience for him.
Great. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks all for your time.
Cheers, guys. Sorry to keep you waiting.